I'm Bob Garfield. I'm here today with Alvin Bowles, who is the CEO of Grab Networks. Alvin, welcome to the lounge.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
We have 5-6 minutes, so all I want you to do is tell me the future of video online. Hurry.
Okay. I think the one everyone knows, that digital video is exploding. From an advertising perspective, it's becoming a platform-agnostic marketplace where you're really producing professional video. Any client that's out there is spending $500,000 to $1 million on a television commercial, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and they set it on the shelf. At the end of the day, for us, we're trying to present opportunities that allow them to take that asset and deliver a different type of ROI against it. And what I'm selling from a Grab Networks perspective is contextual relevance. The right video on the right site, adjacent to the right story, to deliver engagement.
You know, I would just love to give you an opportunity to talk about why Grab Networks fulfills the needs of advertisers, publishers, and the audience. But I don't care. So, but what I care deeply about is where the video is going to come from. Now that it has been established that video is going to live and prosper online, the question is, what is the source of it? Is it going to be Hollywood? Is it going to be consumer generated? Is it going to be plucked from the best of the professional sources that the Grab Networks is licensing from? Where does it come from?
Well, I think the answer is probably all the above. I don't particularly play in the user-generated content space. Grab Networks delivers premium content experiences based on professionally produced video. So I do believe that Hollywood has a real chance to actually win in this space because professional content actually does matter. We don't deal with, it's interesting where you've got a lot of different views for content on YouTube, and it's funny, somebody falls down, this person, this, that, and the other. That's interesting, but that's not really a monetizable opportunity. Advertisers have a tough time.
You know how we get rich?
How do we get rich?
If we can take a cat on a sliding board and have it hit in the balls while it's on the sliding board.
What I would agree with you. The question becomes, what advertiser, if any, would actually advertise against that? Because that's actually how most digital video is actually monetized. It's very difficult. So it's funny, and you'll get 30 million views against it, but ask that person, from a business model perspective, whether they've gotten a penny from it.
Yeah, I guess if there's no cat ball protection company out there.
I would agree with you. And if there was one, we should invest quickly, and perhaps we can drive the stock price up.
The reason I interjected is because I caught you doing your sales pitch, against consumer generated again, and I'm simply not going to permit that because I'm really interested in the ecosystem for all video, not just the sort that Grab Networks brings to publishers.
I think that's a fair point.
And a very key thing about this, I guess, is CPMs. When you talk about professional video, and especially when you're talking about Hollywood, the video, even though it fetches far more than other content online, it still does not command CPMs high enough to underwrite Hollywood-level productions.
Oh, I think it all depends. So I disagree with that.
If I'm wrong, and I seldom am,
well, I hear you. This might be the first case. So the interesting thing about it is...
This might be the first. Go ahead.
It's interesting about this is that, all movie studios have a P&A budget, print and advertising budget. They don't necessarily look at that from an ROI perspective. So CPMs matter, but not as much when you're trying to open a film. At the end of the day, all Hollywood cares about is first and second week sales. That's it. If your movie opened, it stays. If it doesn't, it goes away.
Okay, fine. Movie trailers, I get that. But now I'm talking about movie content or sitcoms or webisodes or whatever it is that Hollywood is eager to produce online to entertain people, but can't command the advertising revenue to underwrite that kind of extremely expensive Hollywood production.
Well, I think it's about education. I think educating some of the advertisers around the fact that this is platform agnostic. I mean, again, not Grab Networks, but recently Kiefer Sutherland announced that he was doing a web series on Hulu, which was interesting and garnered a lot of attention. Lots of business press picked it up. The question is actually how are they monetizing it? And I think that a lot of people are still stuck in the TV world, and that I understand how TV works because I've been doing it for 30 years. If the content and quality is the same, and I can actually watch it anytime I want to, whether it be VOD, your iPad, iPhone, or just online, the CPMs should be somewhat similar. Now, it may be slightly different from a audience aggregation standpoint, but at the end of the day, eyeballs are eyeballs.
Should be, yeah, but let's talk about 2011 reality. For whatever reason, when content goes from the TV machine to the computing machine or the tablet or what have you,
I know what you're saying.
the CPMs miraculously shrink. It's the incredible shrinking content.
Yeah, and it's
play.
frustrating for somebody that plays in the digital space. It is frustrating. I believe that we're still at the beginning stage of the life cycle associated with this, and we have to be a little bit patient. At the end of the day, TV is still king. You know, the upfront marketplace is a robust marketplace. It's happening right now. $175 billion are exchanging hands right now. The majority of that's still being spent against TV. As we begin to talk about educating individuals from an analytical standpoint on how the power of digital actually works, I believe that you're going to have a little bit of a shift associated with it. It's going to be small, you know, and I think that it's going to be frustrating for individuals like us to figure out how do you keep the quality intact while you're also dealing with CPMs that are a bit smaller than what we believe they should be. It's about education. And I think that, you know, one thing that television has is that everybody understands that Nielsen's flawed, but they all accept it as this is the way ratings actually work. Now, whether or not you believe the ratings are real or not, it's still the measure by which everyone actually buys. You don't have that on digital. You still have, is it uniques? Is it streams? What's the metric by which you should be evaluating these sorts of things? For me, it should be streams. I could have 15 million unique visitors on a page, but I've only had 1 million streams. What does that mean? If you're a television producer and you're running your commercial before that content, you really care about streams. You want to care how many people have clicked on that advertising and looked at it.
Makes perfect sense to me, Alvin. But my mom taught me a valuable lesson. She said, wishing it, don't make it so.
I would agree with you.
Well,
Well, I appreciate your mom's perspective. I would agree with it. Here's the thing. As a collective, we're still, I think, I won't say that we're in the early stages of the internet, because I believe that the industry is maturing a bit. I think that we're looking for some sort of aggregated body to say, look, here's the industry standard by which we're going to buy all of this stuff. At this point, it's really about salesmanship. If you have the right relationship with the right person that's willing to take a chance on what you're doing, then you're able to actually move your business forward. If you can't.
So you said educate.
Absolutely.
You meant sell.
I meant both. Educating is selling in our business.
Okay.
They're synonymous.
Fair enough. But
So-
I don't want to talk to you anymore. So you have to go. You have to go too. This is Bob Garfield. This was Alvin Bowles.
I appreciate
You've been
the
in the
time.
lounge.
Sorry. I messed up. Sorry to interrupt you.
You've been in the lounge. Go away.
That was fun.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. That was fun.